Hello, hello, hello. I am Zakiya Monique, Master Relationship Strategist, Transformational Speaker, Best-selling author of Killer Connections. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Keke Palmer and the dress mess. But before we get there, first of all, let me know who you are, where you're from. Definitely want to talk with you in the comments, but also I want to invite you to the safe space with Zakiya Monique. You can go to www.zmsafespace.com. It is a complimentary membership. It only costs you time and it will help you to kickstart your healing process. Okay. It is for men and women. We do have gentlemen that are in the safe space as well because, fellas, you guys need healing too. Okay, you guys need healing too. And you need a safe space and a vulnerable space for you to get what you need. Okay, so you can definitely join me at www.zmsafespace.com right here below. But let us talk tonight about Keke Palmer and the dress mess. The dress mess. And so many people wanted to really talk about this. And I want to give a shout out to USA Today for calling me to ask me what did I think about it. I'll tell you guys what I said to them in just a few minutes. But I want to say good evening again to everybody who's here. Please share out, this broadcast to those who may be interested. But let's get right into it, right? I like to get right into the content. I don't like to wait around or nothing like that. So first and foremost, what do we know? Okay, what do we know? See, I like the facts. I graduated with a degree in sociology and criminal justice. And when, as you know, when they get to the crime scene, they say, what do we know? Right. So I like the facts. Right. So let's talk about the facts. All right. So number one, Keke and Darius have been dating since 2021. So they only got 2 years in. I don't know how long they were friends before that, but they were in the thing for 2 years. They have a child together. I think his name is Leotis, but they call him Leo or something like that. But they've been together since 2021, and I think they had the baby this year. Okay, so they were together 2 years before they had this baby, and now they're parents. They live together. We do know that as well. Um, Earlier this week, Keke Palmer went to an Usher show. I think Usher is doing a residency or something that they call it in Las Vegas. And she went to the show. I want to say it was Wednesday or Wednesday night. Keke wore a black bodysuit with a sheer dress outfit. So it was like a black bodysuit underneath, and it, it was like a thong black bodysuit underneath, but then she had like a sheer dress on top of it. Usher serenaded Keke on the stage. Keke visibly enjoyed Usher's serenade. Okay, she enjoyed that thing. Usher visibly enjoyed Keke's outfit. He was looking at them cakes. Okay, he was looking at them cakes. The next day, Keke's boyfriend slash father of her child tweeted the following. He said, "It's the outfit though. You a mom." And after getting ran down and ran through on Twitter, he came back with a second tweet and said, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." That's what he said. Keke made a post later that said, I'm telling y'all right now, if you haven't seen Usher, you must go. He was so fabulous. Giving theater, Atlanta down, tips and tricks, and just absolutely iconic. I was truly inspired as a performer. I whooped some A in spades too. Where's the picture of all of us together with the king himself? That's what she posted. So she didn't seem bothered by what he was talking about at all. Okay. Then Usher came up under Keke's comment and said, "The big boss, thank you for coming." All the while, ain't nobody studying Darius and his meltdown. Okay. Then later on, I saw a post from the Shade Room that said, "I'm deleting this later." And this is what Keke said, "Deleting this later. But first of all, let me say this. We live together. So if you think he didn't see my outfit before I left, if you think he didn't compliment me and slap me on my behind, before, she said the A word, before I left, you're delusional." Laughing emoji. My outfit was never the problem. Hashtag TSR. Hashtag I'm a mom. Hashtag my body, my choice. Hashtag virality TV. All right. So then old boy came back to Twitter, and he left Twitter and then he came back to Twitter. And when he came back, he had removed all of Keke's pictures and they were no longer friends or following each other or what have you. Now, USA Today called me and asked me what were my thoughts, and I told them that it was not the dress. Okay, I told them it was not the dress. I knew that immediately. I knew this before all of the tweets came out, and especially before hers came out. But here's what I told them. I said, quote, I believe that Kiki's boyfriend's social media post was driven by emotions and insecurity. Imagine seeing your mate being serenaded by Usher and loving it, by the way, knowing that you can't compete with him. You can't compete with Usher. One of the traits of insecurity is comparison. He also felt disrespected. That's what I said. Okay. Now, here are a few general relationship points, not posts, sorry. Here are a few generational. Why can't I get this together? Here are a few general relationship points that I want to bring out about this debacle before it's put to bed. All right. Number one, this was not the first time that Kiki has worn something that society or someone may say or consider to be scantily clad. So her outfit was not new. If you go and look, if you Google her name and Google Glamour magazine, Glamour with a U, you will see that this is not the first time that she was scantily clad. Okay. So that let me know right away that the clothing was not the problem. Okay. It's not new. But when a man, or I'll say a person, I won't even say a man, but when a person, especially a man with a huge ego, cannot bring himself to be honest about the real problem, he will find something that he believes he has a right to speak on. Now, ladies, before we get to celebrating and slapping fives, remember that some of us are guilty of this too. So when he goes out and he buys you and his mama the same gift, and you feel like you should have gotten a better gift than his mama, okay? Because I lay with you every night and I play with you on them nights. Your mama can't do this. You know, we will find a way to bring it up. But we can't say, you know, you bought your mama something like you bought me. Yeah, the bold ones do, but most of us have a little tact. And so what we'll say is, I thought you said you weren't spending more than $35. I thought you said you weren't spending more than $35. What we really mean to say is, why your mama gift costs as much as mine? But that translates into, I thought you said you weren't spending more than $35. So that whole it's the outfit you a mom though was really, I don't like the way that you were responding to Usher. But I can't say that because my ego won't let me, right? And I don't want to seem insecure, even though I'm going to seem insecure. But my ego and my pride won't let me say, it won't let me say that. So I'll just say something about what I feel that I have a right to say something about. But he soon found out he ain't got that right neither. Sorry, but he did. So just know, if your spouse is not an effective communicator, you may have to put two and two together to figure out the real problem, because it's usually not what they say. The problem is, it's usually something underlying or something more major, but they just don't feel like they can say that thing either due to their ego or what have you. So they'll say something else that they think they have a right to say. Okay. So that's number one. This is not the first time. This is not new. It was the fact that he didn't feel like he could say what the real issue was due to his ego. And since when is a man gonna say, I don't feel like I'm good enough for you, or I'm not as good as Usher? Like, he's not gonna say that, right? So yeah, that's number one. And that's why another thing to this point is there's never, ever, 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 ever a failure to communicate. However, my communications teacher taught me that there's never, ever, ever a failure to communicate, but there can be a failure to communicate effectively. Okay. And this is why it's important for us to find out what type of communicator we are dealing with before we make a commitment to him or her via baby or living together or marriage. Because guess what? I may not want to have to deduce what you're saying. I may not want to have to put two and two together. I personally don't have the energy for that. I need a straight shooter. Baby, tell me what it is. Let's fix it. Because my patience and my energy, I don't have it. But there are some people who will play around, will go around the mulberry bush with you. I'm just not one of them. So we have to be very cognizant of that, okay? So number one, that wasn't the first time that girl had put on something scantily clad. It wasn't the first time, so that wasn't the issue. Okay, he just couldn't say what the real issue was. Number two, in all thy getting, get an understanding. In all thy getting, please get an understanding. Listen, whatever you see them doing before they the mother, father, your child, before they the husband and wife of your life, or before y'all live together or whatever, understand that you should expect them to continue that. Okay, because she had been dressing how she was dressing and doing what she was doing. She always been kiki all over the place, as far as I've known. I don't know if she that at home, but she that enough for him to know. Okay, maybe she gonna keep on doing what she doing. Hey, expect the person to continue to do just what they've been doing until such time that they show you something differently. Okay. Or you need to have some hard conversations and see a change in behavior before moving forward. Okay. But if you ain't willing to have the hard conversations together and not with an audience behind you, because you don't need Twitter, then you're going to continue to see what you've been seeing. For some reason, we don't think that we need to have hard conversations in relationships, and I don't get it. There is never going to be a healthy relationship if you don't have some hard conversations about expectations. It's just not. So we should expect to have hard conversations. Okay? It's way too many of us that will act like everything is okay when in actuality it's not. And then it causes an inner turmoil in us, which then spirals out of control to insecurities and things of that nature. And then all of a sudden you blurting it out on Twitter when you could have had a conversation in the house. So two, in all that, get an understanding and make sure you adjust your expectations properly. Number 3, one cannot call for order when he or she is out of order. I'm going to say that again for the people all the way in the back. One cannot call for order when he or she is perpetually out of order. He made her a mother before he made her a wife. Out of order. He made her a mother after allegedly having issues with how she carries herself as a mother. Out of order. He wants to be the leader, as he said, the man of the family. But what he did was what a child did. Out of order. What a child would do. Out of order. Okay. He went to social media to gain an audience when a leader would address the problems of the home in the home. So, sir, you've been perpetually out of order on this issue at least 3 times. Now, don't get me wrong. I know marriage ain't for everybody. I got that. So maybe they don't want to get married. But here's the thing. But you can't be wanting marriage type benefits that obviously y'all two ain't agreed on. Because if y'all had agreed on them, then she wouldn't have been up there sliding them cakes. Okay. Probably shouldn't have said that. She wouldn't have been up there on that stage with Usher like that if y'all had an understanding based on what you're saying. Somebody misunderstood the assignment. Or did they? I'm just saying. So you can't make her a mother before making her a wife, but then you want to act like she your wife. No, that's not how that goes. You can't make her a mother and then critique her on being a mother and she should dress this way. You should have told her that before you made her a mother so that you can make sure y'all had an understanding. And all that get an understanding. Don't be afraid to ask the questions that need to be asked. I don't care what it is. Excuse me, do you expect me to clean up every day? You expect me to cook every day? You expect me? Hey, get an understanding. Get an understanding. Now, I understand that they are in their 20s. I get it. And this is the age of social media. I get it. But leaders know where and when. Leaders know how and why. Where and when. They know. I also know that if they had discussed this previously, then, I do know this. Now, I will say this. If a man discussed something with you previously in private and he don't feel like he's getting what he needs and he's insecure, then he will go to a public platform and discuss it. He will. However, that's still not the right thing to do. And again, leaders know where and when. Okay. But let me say this, ladies, this is why we need to know what his expectations are, and vice versa. Fellas, you need to know what her expectations are of you too. But my audience is predominantly women. Here's the thing. What does he expect of you as a wife, as a mother, as a lover, as a friend? What does he expect? Because he may expect you to be like his mother, like what he's seen before. And maybe you don't want to be like his mother. So you need to get that together before that decision is made to be that thing. Okay. When I'm with somebody, one of the questions I have is, what is your definition of cheating? Because some folks feel like I ain't put it in her. Wait. So it's okay for you to hug and kiss and lay up and grind and eat and all that. But you're going to say because you ain't penetrate, that's not cheating? Wait a minute. So you got to ask those type of questions. You can't let that type of stuff go, oh, he would know. No, 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 no. Just because the word is used frequently does not mean that we share the same definition. It just don't. Do not assume that you share the same definition of the title because the title has been used forever. One of the first things I want to know is, how do you feel about women with ambition and drive who like to work? I want to know that. I want to know what's your definition of cheating. Like, I need to know these things. And I may not ask outright, because some guys be lying, and females too. They'll become what you want them to be. So I may not ask outright, but rest assured that I'm paying attention to your response when we talk about women with ambition. When we talk about cheating, I'm paying attention to your responses so they can tell me what maybe you won't tell me. You understand? And if you can't live up to those expectations, be honest. I've had so many clients to tell me that, I tried to be what he wanted me to be or what she wanted me to be, to no avail, and then came to hell. To no avail, and then came to hell. Just be honest and let the chips fall where they may. Your vibe will attract your tribe. The one that's for you will get it. He will get it. He will get you. Be who you are. All right. So that was number 3. One cannot call for order when they are out of order. And we need to stop it. Because some of us are out of order, but we expect the person to be in order with us. I'm trying to figure out how and why do we expect that? How and why? Okay. Number 4, there are different types of relationships. Find your preference. So you don't have to be on Twitter begging somebody to do you right. So you ain't got to be in life begging somebody to do you right or be what you want them to be. There are 3 different types of relationships. Let's discuss them quickly, but I do have a video to go more in depth with them, okay? Number 1, the traditional relationship. This is where the woman stays home, tends to the children or the home. If they don't have children, the husband is the breadwinner, everybody happy. Number 2, the modern relationship. This is where roles are defined by who is the best at it. This is where some of the women get on their knees and be proposing. Okay? That's your thing. That's your thing. Sometimes the woman is the head, like Gabrielle Union and Jada Pinkett, like that. Those are modern relationships. If that works for you, find somebody that works for you with. But then the third one is a hybrid relationship. This is a little bit of both. And it works for both parties involved. See, for me, I got to have a little bit of both. Why? Because I like working. I like contributing to the household in that way. That's not to say that a woman who stays home doesn't contribute to the household. That's not saying that, because they work hard too. But I like working. And so I'm not the traditional woman, but I have some traditional ways. I still expect my man to drive when we're in the car together, unless he's tired, be down from work. But I expect him to drive most of the time when we're together. I expect him to pump the gas, because I'm not. I expect him to cut the grass, because I'm not. I expect him to take out the trash, because I'm not. I expect him to do everything with the car, because I'm not. And in turn, I'm going to cook the food, because I am. I'm going to make sure things is good with the house and with the kids and up at the school, because I am. Right? So I'm going to do the things that I'm supposed to do based on what we decide. Right? Based on what women, I don't want a man up in my kitchen. Like, don't be up in there messing with stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you cooking a little something, that's cool, but don't be up in the kitchen bothering a lot of stuff, because you're going to move my stuff and then I can't find it. And then I'm going to be irritated because you done messed up. Where's my parsley? Where's my oregano? Where's my turmeric? Please, where's my stuff? So just get out of the kitchen, please. You know what I'm saying? So if I can fix it for you 9 times out of 10, I will. They got this question floating around saying, if it's 2:30 in the morning, your man hungry, you getting up to cook? Absolutely. If he's my man, then of course I'm going to get up to cook. Knowing me, I already got something in there he can eat. Because I'm just that way. I'm going to make sure I probably ain't got to do nothing but come and warm something up, because I'm just that way. But yes, I am. I'm absolutely going to do that. Okay? So that's what I need, though. Okay? If you waiting on me to propose to you, baby, we ain't going to never get married. That's just me, though. Find somebody who shares your preferences so that you don't have to have a person in the headlock trying to make them be who you want them to be. It's way too many of us fighting people to be who we want them or need them to be, when you just need to go find somebody that's in that lane and vein Just find somebody that's in that lane in vain. You know how many men will go and marry young women and then be frustrated because all they can cook is Alfredo, and then they backed all up and all that because they old and their stomach can't take all that? She gonna Alfredo you to death. She can't hold a substantive conversation. That's not to say all young women can't. I'm not saying that. But hey, go find somebody that is in the lane with you. Don't keep trying to pull nobody to where you at, because that's a lot of energy. It's too much. They'll be miserable and so will you. God is a God of order. I believe he puts people together based on these types of things so they can live in peace and harmony. Let him help guide you to the person that's for you. We're not designed to live in contention everywhere. Dang. We already beefing with somebody at work, up at the church house, about who gonna sing, lead, and the choir. We got all this going on. Then we gonna fight at home too? No. The home should be less stress, a peaceful place, a place where you can come home and exhale, not come home and be full of hell. So that's number 4. Find the type of relationship that you want and find somebody who shares that with you, and get an understanding in the beginning of whether they want that relationship. And don't get that understanding based off their words. Pay attention to their actions too. Make sure their words and actions match. Okay? All right, number 5. Asking for husband slash wife benefits when you a boyfriend, girlfriend only works when 2 parties agree that they don't want marriage. You can't ask me for husband privileges, but you my boyfriend, not me. That ain't gonna work for me. Now, somebody who don't want to be married, if y'all agree on that, then cool. But, and I'm not speaking about him specifically, but when I know and respect the man that I'm with, Usher ain't gonna get that much attention and action from me. I'm just saying. People will show you just how intact their relationships are by what they do when that person is not around. Let me say that again for the people that's in the back. People will show you just how intact their relationship really is by how they respond and what they do when that person is not around. There's a lyric that says, I represent you as you represent me. It all comes to light how we move in them streets. And I believe in that. I believe in that. It ain't what I do. Love ain't what I do when I'm in your face. Love is, and respect is what I do when you ain't there. And so if she respects him and his leadership, she moves just like he was sitting there. So that tells you how much respect she really had for him. Because I don't care, when I was in my 20s, Usher can't get more action from me than my man. He can't get more of a response from me than my man. And his response showed just why she might have been up there with them cakes with Usher. Because look at how you respond. If that's how you respond on a regular, and see, he was much too comfortable. This is how you know when somebody do this all the time. They much too comfortable. So he thought that was just going to slide on by. And the people was like, no, bro. You are not her husband. You can't tell her what to wear. He didn't think he was going to get that type of response, right? So he was comfortable with handling things this way like a child. That might be why she was on that stage with them cakes out with Usher. Because she can't respect you, because look at how you handle things. All right, so understand that asking for husband or wife benefits when you're a boyfriend or girlfriend, that only work when y'all both have decided that y'all don't want to be married, or y'all not looking for marriage, and y'all are committed at that level. Apparently somebody missed the memo, because she was not feeling what he was saying at all. She's like, I'm gone and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And he was in his feelings about it. And she didn't even respond at first. She was still talking about Usher. She was still on cloud 9, which meant he do this all the time. I don't care. You got to be careful. Number 6, it was not the dress. If you still holding on to that, it was not the dress. It was her response to another man. It was Usher. Like, it's Usher. And in his mind, in this man's mind, how is he going to compare to that when maybe, just maybe, she has never responded to him that way? Like, how do I measure up to Usher? She ain't never responded to me like that. She probably showed a side that she ain't never showed for him. And Usher got it just from singing. Imagine if he would have touched the cakes. Like I said, the only thing that was new was Usher because she had dressed like that before, but he couldn't bring himself to really say that because his ego wouldn't let him do it. So whether it is the fact that he's not a big time name and Usher is, or whatever the case is, we have to be careful when we're unequally yoked. We have to be careful when we are unequally yoked, y'all. And what I mean by that is he's not a big time name like maybe she is or maybe Usher is. And here's the thing, when you look at her and you look at him, nobody really knows him. He's an actor, but nobody really knows him, so he may already have some insecurities. This is why we have to be careful when we're unequally yoked, because when and unequally yoked is not just a term for religion. It's not just for religion, because we have to be equally yoked in a lot of different areas in order to remain consistent. That's why we have to stay in tune with our mate, so that we're consistently able to have those substantive conversations, able to relate to each other. How are we gonna be in a relationship and we don't relate to one another, right? So when we're marrying somebody, if you marry somebody and you're the breadwinner, ladies, if you're marrying somebody and you're the breadwinner, you have to understand that he needs to be secure. Now, we can help with that. Okay? We can help with that, because even though he's not the breadwinner, he can still very well be the man of your home and the man of your life. Okay? Provision is more than just financial. Can we please understand that? Provision is more than just money. Now, he should never be comfortable laying there living up off you now. Hold on. But it ain't just money that we need from men. And for some reason, I know why. It's really because our ancestors taught us that the man bring the money, and that's all he had to bring. But this is the first time in history where your wang dang doodle and your money ain't all we need. Now we need you to go get healed, because we need you to help us with our emotional stability. Because we gonna always be more emotional than y'all, even on our best day and your worst day. We still gonna be more emotional than you. You're gonna be more logical than us, and so we need you to go heal, right? So now it's not enough for you to just come bring us some wang dang doodle and some money, because nowadays some of us are earning more than y'all, and they got this little rose thing that women got. Now, I don't have one, but some of them got the rose. I was like, I'm not getting that thing because I see how crazy it's making them go. So nowadays they got this rose that make them climax in like 26 seconds, and they don't have to worry about no STDs, no babies, no KIDs, no IUDs, no AIDs, none of that. He ain't got to worry about none of that with little rose. They do got to worry about some other stuff though, because that thing is not healthy. But a lot of women just decided, I'm gonna just roll with this rose and my $100,000, because he ain't healed and he ain't finna come over here and irritate my soul, right? So nowadays women are for the first time saying, what else you got other than in dollars, right? So we have to understand that men can be the home, the man of the home. He can be the man of your life and not make more money than you, because he has to be, but he got to be secure. He got to be secure. He can't be in his feelings. And we as women cannot wear it on our sleeve. And we have to learn how to go from independence to interdependence. And then it won't matter who made what, because we're locked in together, right? We're locked in together. So it's all in how we handle things. And we have to shift from independence to interdependence. And then everybody got their lane, everybody got their space. Don't matter who made most money, because we don't hide behind money. We don't hide behind money. All right. So understand that when you're joining with somebody, ladies, and he makes less money than you, there's a way that we can handle ourselves so that we don't hide behind our money, but he has to also be secure. So it's a requirement on both sides. We can't use our money as power to make power moves and to cause him to feel less than, by the way we do things. This is my money. I ain't got to ask you for that. This is my money. I make the money. Some women get off on doing that in front of people and stuff like that. That's what I mean. Like, no, we don't do that. Okay. We don't do that. So we have a part to play. shifting from independence to interdependence, and they have a part to play, making sure that they are secure. And as long as we have those two things, we can work together no matter who makes the most. Okay. But if you're going to quote unquote marry down or be in a relationship, quote unquote, financially with somebody who doesn't make as much as you do, ladies, you got to make sure his security is intact, and you got to make sure that you are intact in terms of how you handle making the most. All right. Because otherwise you get this type of foolishness. Okay. And last but not least, thank you for hanging with me tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Last but not least, number 7, expectations are the number one reason that relationships fail. People will argue me argue me down and say, it's roles. No, it's not. It's not roles. It's not money. You know how? Let me tell you how I know. Usually, it's not money. I thought you were going to do this with the money. I thought you were going to earn this type of money. Usually, it's not roles. I thought you were going to do this. So I expected you to do this in that role. I expected you to do that because you have this title. I expected you to have this type of money. I expected you to take care of me financially. I expected you to take care of the house or whatever. I expected you not to have a gambling problem. It's expectations. And if we're honest, we are not good. We are responsible for investing our expectations properly. Nobody is responsible for that but you. And we don't do a good job because we listen to words, but we don't compare them to actions and patterns and behaviors. I follow patterns. That's why I always say, I see what you're saying, because that's what I'm doing. I'm watching. Your words don't mean a thing to me until I see those actions line up with it. Because if not, I'm going to go with the actions. So stop shaping expectations on what was said. Stop shaping expectations on what you saw growing up. Stop shaping expectations on even what society says should happen. That's your house. That's your house. If you decide that the woman is going to lead, that's fine. My problem is, don't come whining 5-10 years later when you say, I want him to be an alpha male. That ain't who you married. See, that's usually what happens is people will say, we're non-traditional. We're modern. We don't do this. We don't do that. And then the woman will get down on her knee and propose. Okay. Then she says, I don't understand why I got to lead. I got to do everything in a relationship. Baby, you assume the role is the man. You can't get halfway through the race and decide you don't want to run. That ain't how it go. So to Mr. Darius, I say to you, if you want to be respected as the man of the family, then do what we do when we go to the store. When we go to the store and we want something out that store, you know what we tell that cashier? Ring it up. So Darius, if you want the right to have to say this or say that, if you want her body to belong to you, depending on what you believe, because my Bible say that my body is his and his is mine. If you want those rights, ring it up. Ring her up. If she accept. If she accept. But you can't assume these roles and y'all ain't had the hard conversations. You can't assume these roles and ain't no rings involved. You can't assume these roles just because you had a baby by her. That don't mean nothing in this day and time. You got to pick a lane. Either you modern, hybrid, traditional, and then you got to figure out if that's what she want to be at. And then y'all going to have some hard conversations and make some decisions and get an understanding. But I tell you one thing, Twitter ain't the place for that. And she ain't going to do nothing but lose respect for you when you do that. And when she lose respect for you, it's going to be hard for you to love her. And what I know for sure is that a man needs respect and a woman needs love. And if y'all can't give each other that, move on. All right. So I'm hoping that they work things out. You know, they young, probably will. If not, I'm hoping that they learn from this debacle and move on. But that's my take on it. That's what I have to say about it. Let me know yours in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the situation in the comments. And I want you to have a great evening. I hope this helped you kind of understand my breakdown of things and let me know what you feel. But other than that, I want you to have a great evening. You already know how. On purpose. God bless you and have a good one.